Hello. Pedders Reactions, turquoise reaction time. I'm not sure. Pedders with turquoise reaction time. I'll figure something out eventually. Um, there's a lot of Jordan Peterson things that I've been listening to. Mainly because I want to increase my knowledge for everything in different areas. Psychology is something I'm quite interested in. In a few videos before, I mentioned that I quite like if I hadn't done cybersecurity and computer science, I would be doing psychology. I still might. I'm doing a master's in the computer stuff, so I might go to psychology as well because it interests me and keep learning things. But this is how to stop being undisciplined. It's in capitals. That's what you get. Anywho, I think the screen thing is a totally line. Don't know what the line means. Find out.
Now, some of those you won't stop doing.
Ooh, cake.
For whatever
Red
reason,
donut.
you don't have the discipline, or maybe there's a secondary payoff, or you don't believe it's necessary, or it's too much of a sacrifice, or you're angry, or resentful, or afraid. Who knows? So forget about those for now. But there's another subset that you could stop doing. It might be a little thing. Well, that's fine. Stop doing it and see what happens. And what will happen is your vision will clear a little bit. And then something else will pop up in your field of apprehension that you will also know you should stop doing, and that you could stop doing, because you've strengthened yourself a bit by stopping doing the particular stupid thing that you were doing before. That just puts you together a little bit more.
You know, when you're in the military, you have this discipline, and beyond the discipline that's imposed on you, you also have a lot that you have to just hold the line yourself.
That's it.
When you're in the military, sure, you go through boot camp where there's a drill instructor that's yelling and all that, but once you're in the military, you're doing what you have to do. It's self-discipline, that you learn that and you become self-disciplined.
Calisthenics.
What happens is guys get out, and that's gone, and that hurts them. And the other thing that hurts them is they don't know what their mission is anymore.
I could see that. I mean, yeah, you get told you have to do this, this, and this to get this, and then suddenly you get out of a profession like that, which, you know, highly intensive. You need to be trained for. They're doing training that you get told this is what you have to aim for. Do it. You get out and it's like, okay, what do you want to do now? You know, I don't know. Yeah, I could see that.
And my big thing with people that I've been telling vets now is find what your next mission is. Go find whatever your next mission is. And I don't care what it is, but it has to be something. When people are not going anywhere, when they're failing, when they don't have the drive, it's because
You need a goal.
they're not
You need to
accepting responsibility for anything.
Yeah.
And so my way of saying that is like, you need a new mission. You need to be responsible for something, and you need to go and move towards some new mission. And do you encounter people that, or you see people that's very problematic in the civilian side as well, where people, they just don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
they
well,
don't take any responsibility for anything.
Yeah,
That's
you need
part
to.
of this nihilism, you know, is that because first of all, you learn that truth is relative, and that there's no real moral order, and you know that alleviates you of responsibility, and that's why that's such an attractive message to people. But the problem is that it kills you. It kills your soul, so to speak, because, well, when we can talk about this technically, so, you know, there are systems, neurological systems that underlie your experience of negative emotion, and there are neurological systems that underlie your experience of positive emotion, and they're separate systems. They obviously interact, but they're separate systems. So, but the positive emotion system, well, there's two of them, but one of them sort of kicks in when you get something that you want. So, you know, you're hungry and you eat, and that feels good. And so that's kind of the simple one. But there's a more sophisticated one that I think is even more active in people. And it's the one that tells you that you're moving forward towards something worthwhile.
Yeah. So that's cool. Worthwhile. So yeah, when you get you're getting closer to your goal, you're like, I'm doing this. This is, look what I'm doing. I was over there last week, and now look at me. I'm over here. Let's go. It's why I advocate for certain people. What works for me might not work for you, but training for me, progressive overload, is a godsend, because you get to go. I did 10 kilos in this last week for 8 reps. Next week I can do 10 kilos with 10 reps, and I can do it. And I'm like, woo! My goal is like, I don't know, 20 kilos, 10 reps. You have to get there slowly. So you get a plan, you get to build it all together, you go and you're here. You're not on the goal yet, but you're here, and you're like, you know what? From what I did last week, this is pretty damn good. And you're not going to stop there, because, why would you lose that momentum? You're like, let's go. Eventually you'll get to your goal, and then you can move your goal and be like, I'm 25 kilos. And, give me a month, 2 months. Setting realistic. They have to be realistic. You can't just be like, I'm going to go deadlift 500 kilos next week when I can currently deadlift 170. No, not going to happen. You're setting yourself up to fail. So you set yourself up with something that you get is possible. What is it? Greg Doucette says, have your dream goal, then half it. That's where your goal is. You can reach that. You put in the time, the effort, the energy, and it's a more realistic thing because there's a dream goal because it's a dream. Ideally, I want to be a millionaire. But to get there, I have to be more qualified to get better paid jobs. Keep putting in the time, the money, the effort. Do it. If I ever end up with 500 grand in my bank account, I'm going to be pretty damn happy. Especially from my upbringing is, we've never had that money. Then if we can get to 1 million now, I'll be like, woo, woo. But after that 500, get to 600, 700, 750. Yeah, if you make it's kind of like riding the dopamine train without forcing, like, you actually get something from it. So like, you go and get takeaway. Takeaway is normally it's a treat. You get your dopamine. It's like, bam, yeah. Half an hour later, you're like, dopamine's gone. Meh. Find things that give you your dopamine that you need without it suddenly tanking after. And without becoming a reliance. That, okay, my workouts are probably a reliance thing, but it does also keep me fit and healthy and help. Buying takeaway is easy for me. There's 3 places in my town, that sells it. I don't do it right now. I'll be happy for half an hour, maybe even less. And I feel meh because I'm like, well, I spent the money. I ate the food. Meh. Meh isn't a feeling you want after something you've just done for dopamine. You want to be on a high. You want to be like, woohoo, let's go. Anyway, I'll go back to Jordan Peterson. He's smart, way smarter than I am.
And that's actually the one that gives people that sense of meaningful engagement in their life on a moment-to-moment basis. So, and it's also something that doesn't have to go away. Like, if you're hungry and you eat, well, that's good, but it's over, and then you're on to the next thing, right? It's not exactly sustaining. It's just
I was just picking examples.
That's called consummatory reward, by the way. This other reward system is incentive reward.
See, this is why he's better than me, because he's smarter and knows the big words for things.
And the incentive reward system works on dopamine, this neurochemical dopamine, which is also the neurochemical tracks that opiates and cocaine and amphetamines, the drugs that people really like to abuse, alcohol often for some people.
Tip on alcohol. Whatever you're feeling, add alcohol. Times is whatever that feeling by anything more than, I don't know, 1, 2, whatever. Depends on how much you drink. End up result more of that feeling. If you're feeling super anxious and you start drinking, for certain different people, different alcohol does different things to them. That I know a friend who we can't give him whiskey because he gets angry and wants to fight people. Give him rum and he's happy as hell. Give him Sambuca Black and he always pretend it's bloody Jaeger. You know who you are. This joke we keep running, it's fine. Alcohol is it's a depressant. Just straight up, it's a depressant. Yes, you can end up having great times on it if you put yourself on the right alcohol for you. It should not be a reliance ever. Same with the drugs. You shouldn't rely on something to end up boosting you. If you need a boost, you need to figure out, which isn't easy. I'm not saying you have to poop. Oh, thanks, I'm cured. I hate those things where it's like, oh, I'm depressed. Have you tried thinking about it positively? Eventually that'll work. It ain't gonna kill me now. If you try going for a run, I might hate running. There was part of my dissertation for uni when I was doing my honours in music was how to use music therapy at home and music therapy in a professional way. And there was a study, I can't remember who did it or what, but there was a guy in a coma, and they got this music therapist in and got him in, and the guy was like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to play classical music all the time and make him happy. The guy tanked, like, dangerous levels. So the family were like, no, stop that. Obviously, correlation, classical music, guy's health. Yeah. So they stopped that. And then they got another one in and were like, we'll try it again. It might have just been something. And the first thing the guy said was, what kind of music does the person in the coma like? I can't really heavy into rap, hates classical. Okay, let's play the things they like. Played rap music. It wasn't like, yeah, he's better now. But it helped because it's something they're familiar with, something they like. And there's all the studies where it's like you can still hear things and everything else in your coma. I've never been in one, but yeah, that's what the studies and stuff say. And he improved. So you need to find things that you like and that work for you to help you get to where you want to go. That's yeah.
And so you might say if you don't have enough meaning in your life, then you're more prone to addiction. And that's definitely the case, even with rats. If you take a rat and you put him in a cage by himself and he has nothing to do, and then you give him access to cocaine,
to pick cocaine every time,
point where he won't do anything but take cocaine.
But if you
throw the rat back in with a bunch of other rats and he gets to do rat things, then it's very hard to get him addicted to cocaine. And so the purposeless rat is prone to addiction. Well, it's the same with human beings. Now, here's a corollary to that, which is really cool. So the magnitude of the reward you experience as you're moving towards a goal is proportionate to the importance of the goal. So that means the more important the goal you pick, the more possibility there is for the kind of reward, let's say, it's really a state of being that is life-affirming, and it is directly
if you
life-affirming.
put yourself around in that good energy,
like if you're
you
in
can...
a football game and it's an important football game, and maybe you break a finger, and normally that's a problem. It hurts, and you're going to stop doing whatever you're doing. But if you're right in the middle of the game, then you'll be so amped up on this reward system that it's analgesic. It stops the pain. It also suppresses anxiety. So if you...
That does not mean if you're in a situation, break your finger, and then you'd be like, no, this isn't worth it, or woohoo, analgesic. Yeah, no. But, yeah, he's obviously right. He's a clever man. You end up... If you're in a situation where it's like, okay, the reward for this is great, I can push through with this tiny little finger injury. You get through it. You're like, sweet, let's go. This is important. You do that. You can fix your finger later. Obviously, don't go to the point where you majorly injure yourself. Like point of no return. So like, yeah, you break your finger. You can carry on. It's safe enough to do that. But if you break your arm and you're like, it's fine, I'm still gonna play. You then super damage your arm. You then can never do the thing you wanted to do again because you can't throw anymore. It's talking about football as an American football, not British. Otherwise, yeah. Apart from your stability, your arm could probably be fine.
Broken. Have a purpose, then it's analgesic. It takes some of the pain out of life. It's very positive in that it motivates you, energizes you, focuses you, and makes you able to remember
There's a big
and pay
kitty cat.
attention. And it quells fear.
I'd be distracted all the time.
Waking up early. It really does. You absolutely have to apply it to things beyond waking up early. It is working out every day, making yourself stronger and faster and more flexible and healthier.
If that's where your goals are going, you should do some of this anyway, because keeping your body in tip-top condition is always good. However, you don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. to start your workout, because that's the best time to work out. No, the best time to work out is when you feel it's best to work out. Mine's evenings after work, sometimes after a nap. Works for me, might not work for you. But you don't have to wake up at stupid... What are they? What are they called? Entrepreneurs, influencers on YouTube. Philion's done a few things on it when it's just talking about the influencer entrepreneur grind set. Like I wake up at 4 a.m. and then I do an hour's meditating, then an hour's working out, then I go to work, and while after half work I get this and do this, and then they're up from like 4 a.m. till 11 p.m. and then I get my 5-6 hours sleep. And then I go again. I'm not... That might work for you, but that would... apart from me never sleeping. I'm not interested in that. I want to wake up at 4 a.m. to then do my workout. I'll wake up at 7 a.m., get up, go to work, come home, and then do my workout later. It's worked better for me. I don't need to do X, Y, and Z to be motivated in the morning. Some people might. What works for these people sometimes might not work for you. There are general things. Like I think one of the things Jordan Peterson says at one point is when you wake up in the morning, have a massive breakfast. Even if you don't want to, just wake up, have the massive breakfast, because then your energy levels go up, and it's helped cure people's some of their depressive tendencies or symptoms, because their body is now like, sweet, let's go, we've got this energy, let's do something with it, let's go to work. And you go to work and you're like, oh sweet, let's go. You go to do a workout, you've got energy for your workout, you're like, sweet, I can push a bit harder, I'm feeling good. I don't wake up in time. Well, I could wake up in time. See, there you go, there's something I should need to do. Be more disciplined with waking up in time and having breakfast. Might happen, might not.
It is eating the right foods to fuel your system correctly.
There's no meat in it.
Disciplining your emotions.
Oh, is that gravy though?
Good decisions.
Oh, if that's good. Salad and gravy, is that a thing?
The discipline to control your ego so it doesn't get out of hand.
Oh yeah, you should never let your ego.
It is about treating people the way you would want to be treated. It is about doing the tasks.
You didn't learn that as a kid, you need to learn it quick.
Oh,
that bit's cool.
Discipline is about facing your fears so you can conquer them.
They're doing a press up.
Taking the hard road, the uphill road, to do what is right for you and for others. So when those foods are tempting you, calling your name, and enticing.
Alright, I'm just going to point this out there. Yes, the option on the left probably isn't as healthy for you and things like that. However, you're going to feel more, probably, yeah, there's potatoes. You'll feel more full with the meal on the left than you will if you ate all of that fruit and pepper, capsicum. There's more stuff in the stuff on the left than, yeah, you get your fructose and, you know, there's all the other stuff in the left. 3 cheeseburgers? Nice. No cheese? What? But you're going to feel more full if your whole thing is, I'm going to eat this as my dinner, evening meal, tea, whatever people want to argue and call it. You're probably going to go for the left. You're going to go, I'm going to have most of a bowl of fruit. My 5 a day in one. Apple's a bit meh. That's yeah.
With their sugar-coated lies, get angry. Get aggressive. Stand your ground.
I went to McDonald's. Quick, press-ups.
By saying no. Hold the line. Hold the line for your health, your mental toughness, and exercise your
Spartans,
which I promise is stronger than the will of a donut.
Because the donut is an inanimate object and doesn't have
the line.
Yeah.
You know, and so you might think, well, if you're going to clean up the world, you might start by cleaning up your phenomenological space and see how far you get with that. It's a very difficult thing to do, but if you do it, the better you get at it, the more capable you are of handling larger and larger problems, and that's how you should start. You should start with what's right in your grasp and with what you can control.
Yeah.
See what happens if you stop doing things you know to be inadequate and wrong. So the hypothesis is every time you engage in an activity like that, you weaken yourself. You put yourself down first, you remove your own self-confidence, but you also fail to take the opportunity to expand your domain of competence.
Yeah. I'm going to end it there because I rambled a bit and we're like, ooh, 19 minutes in. But I'll do a part 2 because obviously I want to finish this bit. Yeah, I ramble a lot. It happens. I'm just taking things in. Yeah, I guess you should always be thinking to improve. And yeah, I probably have some disciplines I should undiscipline myself from. That's the worst sentence I've ever said. But yeah, if you can start improving things and getting there, getting a routine, get things working towards your goals, that sounds pretty good. It's always pretty good. Why would you not want to be moving forward? You should never be wanting to go backwards. You shouldn't really want to stay stationary. Even if stationary is pretty good, You can do a bit better. What is it? Slash, guitarist Guns N' Moses. Said he still practices all the time. Obviously not all the time, but he practices quite a lot because he always wants to improve. If he learns something new, he can throw that into a new solo and be like, damn, look at this solo. Everyone else will be like, oh, damn, that solo. And he'll be like, yeah, see, I put the time, the effort. He's definitely putting time and effort. He's naturally gifted as well. Just because he's naturally gifted doesn't mean he should stop. Hell, I might be naturally gifted at bass guitar. I'm not. I get by. But because of natural talent, I mean, I'm more talented than some people out there, naturally. And they could kick my ass by just putting in time and effort. Just because someone's gifted does not mean that they have a one-up permanently over someone. It's people who are genetically better at certain things. You can still train and get yourself to a pretty damn good level, if not past them. Just you got to apply yourself. Anyway, there's links below. There's links in the description. We have a new logo for Den Wings. Come chat with us. Woodfee made it. Very early in the morning, I think. Until next time. I'm going to do a part 2 in like 20 seconds. Till next time. Clickety click. Oh, my clickety clicks didn't work.